Hi everybody, my name's Hudson and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my process behind this current drawing that I'm doing, and in doing this I checked with Reddit to see how my current drawings were actually doing, and this is what the Redditors had to say. I know, the Reddit is a land of neckbeards, and it's a land of people who think they have a PhD in something telling you otherwise, but you know what? I feel like their criticism still could possibly very well be valid. So I dived into it, and so these are the photos I showed them of the art I want them to critique before I went deeper into it. I think actually the first thing they said was my art needed to have intention behind it. It needed to have something to kind of ground it, to make it almost tell a story. And I don't necessarily agree with that per se. I don't think art necessarily has to tell a story. I think art can just be art. I think it can be pretty, it can be decorative. But you know what? If I'm making portraits, they might as well tell a story. So I said, okay, let's tell a story then. And the second thing was the background. They said the background was like almost distracting from the portraiture itself, which is, you know, bazonkers. It was true though. So I tried to find a way to make that chaos in the background into the portrait itself. So we'll see if that's successful. And the last thing I did was, so they said some of the anatomy could have been off. So I'm making sure to have a greater detail when it comes to anatomy. But yeah, before we dive too deep into it, my week's been okay. I've been working through a lot of things when it comes to creativity and when it comes to making art that I'm proud of and trying to be happy. So besides that, oh, and somebody's pulling up right now. That's cool. I'm gonna keep on going. Okay. They drove away. Cool. We're gonna get back into it. My week's been okay. Trying to figure out what makes me happiest, and mostly right now we're trying to avoid what makes me sad. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, right now with this drawing, I started out with just some concept sketches. I don't sketch a lot. I don't really find purpose in it. Probably why my art suffers a couple of times. But other than that, I started to sketch, and I came up with these composition sketches. I'm using a pretty heavy watercolor paper and multimedia paper, so hopefully it'll hold up with the ink that I'm choosing. I usually work with primary colors, so red, yellow, and blue. And then I start off with an ink wash. And then I work my way in with some colored pencil. And then I finish it off with some ink. I'm not sure if that process is the most useful or practical, but I did it anyway. I enjoyed it. So did that, and so I started out with a purple wash, and then I chose a reference that I thought would be pretty cool, and I put stars on it. Because I'm trying to abstract the face more rather than the background. Kind of crazy. And then I did some coloring around it. I tried to maintain a purple vibe. Then yellow where the stars are. And try to make it more abstract the further away we got from the face. I decided to add an animal element to this, so I included a little bird. Um, the story behind this is I wanted to talk about disassociation and kind of being in your own head. I feel like a lot of creative people suffer from this because I think they can have really good mental, clear images of what they want and how they want their life to be. And so we can just get caught up in dreamland when reality doesn't really show us something we want. And so as a result, I came up with this piece of kind of, inside of me is this whole alternative reality I can just come up with and be pretty happy in it. But in doing that, I cut myself off from what makes me human. And so I think the bird is kind of more the tether to reality. It's going to be more realistic. It's going to be on my shoulder to remind me to come back to the people that love me and the world that's waiting for me. So that's pretty much the premise behind the drawing itself. Oh yeah, I'm outside. I'm actually on top of a parking garage. So I thought that'd be more interesting to watch and see. And so yeah, this is me on top of a parking garage and just having fun, doing what I do best, and just talking to a microphone to my camera. Things I want to change about my art? Not much right now. I wish I had more time, and I wish I didn't get so stressed out over certain things. A lot of the times I'll make something, and as a result of making it and spending hours looking at it, I'll be like, this is booty cheeks. This sucks. This is horrible. I hope this artwork, gets caught on fire and then, gets caught in a highway traffic jam. I don't know. But then I wake up and I'm like, it's not that bad. And I realize I do this with all my problems. I'll spend a lot of time and energy worrying about something or dreading something or doing something and then immediately hate it. And then as I get distance from it with time, then I realize, oh, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. So that's how my art journey's been so far. Work has been good. Been working hard to learn more about my job. I work in research and neurobiology, so I really enjoy that. Working out's been good too. Yeah, that's pretty much been my week. I hope you guys have had a good day, and hopefully you will hear back from me more. Bye.